Hello and welcome to Grumpy Gamers. You're here with me, Pete, and along with me today I have Eddie.
Hey.
Hey.
I know, I've never done a hey, sorry.
Yeah, you threw me off massively there, but it's fine. It's fine. We're obviously here together to talk more about Warhammer 3. Our previous video, well, we weren't particularly keen on the state of the game, but I think we can say that that's changing with the announcement of the release of Immortal Empires in August. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. And over the course of the last few weeks, Creative Assembly have been releasing the updated map and then the placement for all the factions on that world map.
Yeah, boy.
So there's obviously a huge amount we could talk about with this, but we've narrowed it down to a shorter list to go through in an effort to sort of focus on some of the key issues here in this new map and the new layout. And first and foremost, I think among them is the presence of chaos from turn 1. Including Archaon, which has a few knock-on impacts, obviously. But, I mean, as you recall from 1 and 2, Eddie, Chaos is normally the end-game threat, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so normally that thing that you build up all your armies just trying to get rid of. It's kind of, let's be honest, the first one's just trying to get your army big enough and your presence big enough so that you deal with it. So, yeah, it kind of makes the whole thing a completely different game, doesn't it?
It really does, and I know they're going to bring in a few change-up style end conditions. Like I think they've mentioned the idea of orc outbreaks everywhere or vampires rising up, all of this sort of stuff as options. But I just think having them there from the beginning means that we might see a bigger snowball effect from chaos than we've had before. Because, at least for some players like myself, I've got to the point now where I garrison the corner where they appear well before they arrive.
Yeah.
And being unable to do that now is going to make it a much more interesting challenge. But I suppose we should focus on Archaon in particular and the fact that he's up against one of the good new lords, Boris Ursus for Kislev, in the very early game, which I think it's going to be really interesting to see which one of them goes down more often. I mean, obviously in 2 it was orcs or greenskins, wasn't it? Was normally the ones you'd watch die early and the other one gets big.
Yeah.
Now we've got Kislev or Chaos, which should be really fun. And did you notice the 4 new legendary lords coming out for Chaos as well, alongside?
Yeah, I saw that. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, so at this time they've dropped the first one who's starting in Norska, but it will be interesting to see how they fit in and how their campaign's going to work after the new Chaos update.
Yeah, because they've been changing a lot of the stuff with the Chaos, haven't they? Yeah,
there's actually they're even letting you upgrade your armies now. So you start out with like marauders who are rubbish.
Yeah.
Well, instead of having to just replace them, you can now upgrade them to Chaos and then Chosen Warriors.
Cool.
Yeah, it's things like that I'm really looking forward to. I might actually play Chaos. That'd be good.
That's the thing. If for me with these games, I have to be a normal like Dwarves or Empires. But if the mechanics are interesting enough, I would take the dip.
Yeah, that's it. And I think I'll find myself trying them out pretty early on. But there's a couple of other of those early showdowns, like Boris versus Archaon, that are in there too. And I wanted to ask you what your thoughts were on Grimgor moving away from the dwarves and now being up against Kolek, the big dragon ogre.
Yeah, I think it's good because it's a change at the end of the day. Anything to make me kind of go back to the game. They've probably done it on purpose to add a bit of variety.
Massively so. Yeah. But it's also, at the moment, pre-Chaos Dwarves, who we know are coming, but aren't quite there yet. It's going to be really interesting to see which of them wins, because they've got basically a third of the map empty around them. Up until Chaos Dwarves turn up. Yeah,
because in these games, as we know, with the Total War games, is if you've got good room around you, then it's really easy. So that could determine who's everyone's favourite faction is.
Yes,
because it's like in the three kingdoms I'm always the same 3 factions because I'm at the edge of the map and I've got a nice friendly zone. But with this, it'll be really interesting. I'll probably play factions that I've never played before.
Yeah. Well, I think that's one of the big things with this map, isn't it? We finally got a world-sized sandbox to go through.
Absolutely,
and
it's massive.
Yeah, it is. And I think the sea lane connections is going to be a big improvement as well, letting you go west to east.
Yeah, how do you think that'll work? Because I've just seen, on the edge of the maps there's like boats. Do you just click on the edge and then it goes to the other side?
At the moment I'm assuming you have to go into that zone, and then there's a few turns duration while it transports.
That would be cool.
There's potentially events while you're in there as well, apparently, but I haven't seen anything concrete on that.
That would be very cool.
It could be really good, couldn't it?
Yeah,
And
just to
it's,
add that element of danger of doing it. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Now there's a couple more spots I wanted to pick out from this. The last one is the White Dwarf and Malekith in terms of the early showdowns. They're now less than one province apart.
Yeah.
Which that's going to be really interesting because how often have Dark Elves and Dwarves found themselves fighting before now?
Absolutely, yeah. Dark Elves are normally just against normal elves, aren't they? So.
Yeah, that's it. Or each other for half of the early game at the very least.
to me, do you? I mean, it could be a really good battle because the Dark Elves love their armor-piercing weapons, and obviously dwarves are massively armored, so that could be really interesting.
It could, and I'm assuming they've done some balance testing because otherwise you'd think Dark Elves are going to have a good time against dwarves.
You'd think,
and I hope that's not.
Yeah.
Although dwarves do get better artillery quicker, so.
Yeah, I fucking love dwarves. I bet I'll be devastated if they just get knocked out every time,
yeah. Now, the last spot I want to mention on this map is, I mean, you'll have seen from my note earlier, but the Southlands has now pretty much replaced Lustria as the Superdome for this game, hasn't it? We've got, it really is, it's a bit Thunderdome from Mad Max for me. We've got Skarbrand, who's obviously the most dangerous one in Warhammer 3 so far, alongside Volkmar, Settra, Khalida, Manfred from the Vampire Counts has moved down there, Malagor of the Beastmen, Eltharion for the High Elves, Queek from the Skaven, and Repants from Bretonia, all really close together.
Yeah.
And you got another 5 or 6, including Dwarves, more High Elves, Lizardmen, Tomb Kings mixed with Vampire Counts in Arcan, and Tzeentch Chaos, all really close together. So
I love that because it's one of those that you can be anyone. Do you know what I mean? Because I bet a lot of people the same I am. I like to play predominantly Empire or Dwarves. So, it's something for everyone. If you want a bit of evil, then you can be there. If you want a bit of lizards, I love a good lizard campaign now and again. I love that. And it's going to be a hell of a battle to see who comes out on top.
Massively so. And I think that early game is probably the most interesting place in the game to be because you've got such a wide variety of things to fight. And I'm kind of looking forward to seeing Skarbrand and Malagor end up working together because they're both one-man doomstacks. You don't need an army if you level them up correctly. So that could be fun. And it's good to see Lustria actually replaced as the place where everyone is. Now it's more central. That's, I think, a big improvement.
Yeah.
But I suppose my key question for you, Eddie, is which one of all of the Lords are you most looking forward to playing?
You know what? I used to play Balthazar Gel on Warhammer 1 and 2 all the time. Like every single playthrough was him. But this time I'm not, because his placement on the map is basically bang shit in the middle of everyone. So and I like to have my back against the wall and kind of expand that way. So I'm gonna go down with more Tyrion, only because I love the whole sailing across the water and being able to go anywhere, and you could do that pretty early. And then of course Ungrim Iron Fist. I just love him as a person.
Yeah.
So that was never going to change no matter what the map did.
Yeah, that's fair. And I think Ungrim Iron Fist, I mean, I would really look forward to playing when the Chaos Dwarves come in, because he's going to be right next door to them.
Oh, yeah.
And then if when they aren't there, it's probably Grimgor coming for him before. But yeah, I think both of those are going to be great fun. I think for me, it's going to be down in that Southlands. I think it's either Teclis for the High Elves or Kairos for Tzeentch. Nice. Like, Kairos, at least, he's down at the southern edge, so he's got a bit of a wall to back against. But
yeah, absolutely.
I just want to see what happens in that absolute clusterfuck that is the Southlands.
Sweet. Yeah, I might be a naughty little lizard man now and again and see if I can take that continent.
Yeah, it's the best of the lizardmen down there as well.
Yeah,
that does help.
Exactly. Who's the dinosaur one? I mean, we're testing our knowledge here, but yeah, I like the dinosaur one, the one that loves his beasts.
Yeah, that's him. That's Krokar.
Yeah, that's it.
That's the dude.
Yeah,
he's going to have a great time. Right. Well, I think that's it for now. I mean, we only have to wait a couple more weeks till August to see this actually come to fruition. And before then, we will have the last placements of those Chaos Legendary Lords to look forward to.
All right.
But I guess until mid-August, it's GG.
GG!